All right, so we're going to the next question now. So we're given a word problem here. So a rental car company charges a one-time fee of $50 plus $1 per mile. Another rental car company charges a one-time fee of $10 plus $2 per mile. The equations at the right represent the total cost T for renting a car for M miles. At each company, for how many miles is the cost the same? Sorry, I think that's a finished sentence. So the total cost T for renting a car for M miles at each company, for how many miles is the cost the same at both companies? So we're trying to figure out for how many miles the cost is the same for both companies, and we're giving information. We can define two functions for each kind of company. So we'll say company one. So the equation we'll say is in terms of M for the number of miles, and then T for the total cost. So T over here, we'll say is cost. And then M, number of miles. Okay. So for company one, let's just say down here, for company one, we know that T, the cost, will equal, so $1 per mile, so we can say 1 times M, which is just M, plus a base cost of $50, so 50. So if we calculate the cost, we plug in $1 per mile over here. So let's say we went 20 miles, and there's always a one-time fee of $50. So we add that on. So that's our first equation. Then for, let's say, company two, we'll say T, so the total cost will be $2 per mile, so 2M, plus a one-time fee of $10. So here they have a higher rate per mile, but they have a lower fixed rate of $10. So similar idea to define the equation. So to solve, we have to think about how many miles is the cost the same on both companies. So when both costs are equivalent, what is the miles that happens? So we set both equations to each other. So we'll say M plus 50. So this is the equation for company one. We'll set that equivalent to 2M plus 10. So we have to evaluate now for M to determine what mile value, so how many miles how many miles is the cost the same of both companies? Okay, so we'll subtract 10 from both sides. So 50 subtract 10 is just 40. And then 10 subtract 10 is just 0, so we end up with nothing. And then we'll say M, we'll take M from here, we're subtracted by M, so M minus M is just 0, and we'll also subtract M from the other side, so 2M minus M is just M. So here we know when 40 miles are driven at each company, the cost will be the same. So that's essentially answers the question, but let's say it's also asking what is that cost when both companies are charging the same. So we can just substitute 40 into both equations. So we'll say for equation one, so for this equation, T will be equal to the 3 plus 50. And that'll give us just 90. So total cost would be 90 at company one. And then to double check for company two, it should be the same. So it should also equal 90. So we'll say T, so 2 times 40 plus 10. So 2 times 40 is equal to 80 plus 10 gives us 90. So we know our solution is correct by substituting it back in, and both companies charge $90 when 40 miles are driven. So no solution present. Correct. Okay, so there was no solution present, so we just provided the correct answer. So on to the next question.